Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Lisa DeMauro, and I am joined by my husband, Chris DeMauro, and we are the Talking Gravesend podcast, the podcast that is dedicated to celebrating William DeMayo's streaming series, Gravesend. We're excited to be here today to talk about Season 2, Episode 2, Miami Nights.
Yeah, really excited, Lisa, to be back here in the studio. We love doing these episodes. We love doing all of the pre-show work that we have to do, which is pretty much watching Gravesend. It's easy.
Yes,
It's a tough
and
job.
You know, on that note, Chris, I just want to take a moment and give a special thanks to everybody that has reached out to us, the cast and crew members. We are so grateful and thankful for your support and your kind words.
It means the world to us.
It really
does. I mean, when you put yourself, as you guys know, as you all know, right, being entertainers, you put yourself out there in a certain way. And in doing this show was we were a little nervous, right? How is it going to come across? And we don't want to be a psycho fan. You know, we want to be super fans. We want to be able to promote the show and shine a light on everybody's performances and why we love the show so much.
Yes.
So anyway,
let's get into.
Yeah, thank you. We love it. All right, so let's jump into the episode. Okay, so the first scene, we open up to a dinner in a Brooklyn restaurant. And it's interesting, Lisa, because the scene opens up on the cold, hard tile floor and then sweeps up. So it kind of gives you an idea this is going to be a cold conversation
cold
here.
Scene.
Yeah. So Big Rocco is kind of at the head of the table. We've got Iggy sitting there and a couple of Iggy's guys, and they're talking all about the gay bars in New York.
Yeah, and making lots of money.
They kind of razzed Big Rocco a little bit on that one. They're like, yeah, maybe you should stop by. And he was like, are you kidding me? I don't ever go into the city. It's a bunch of freaks. So hey, listen, gay bars made a lot of money. You know, it's a fact. So they talk about, or rather, we get to meet Frankie Boy for the first time. We heard about Frankie Boy, but we get to meet him.
Frankie Boy's naughty for banging someone else's wife.
Yeah, Louis Pupolo's wife, I believe. We learned in the last episode.
Yes.
So if you remember, Caesar told Iggy to make it messy. So I think he asked for.
He said, "You guys started eating without me." He walks in, and Iggy asks him for the envelope. He makes some snippy comments around, "Do I ever not come in with the envelope? Do I never not come correct?" And he looks around the table like some of these other guys making excuses, and he says, "You know how I roll." And Iggy says, "Yeah, I know how you roll."
I know how you roll.
Pulls it out, shoots him.
That was that. And the only other thing that I'll mention is I think Iggy's wearing a pretty nice gold Rolex, maybe a GMT, not positive, or Submariner, a really nice watch. So, of course, we go to our beautiful Lords of Brooklyn intro, and then at 4 minutes, the episode opens at the penitentiary with Big Carmine being let out of his cell, played by Mr. Chuck Zee.
Yes.
I have this scene, and I think since it really opens the show and it sets the tone, let's watch it together.
Yeah, it's a pretty intense scene because we know one of the reasons why Benny's going down there to see Carmine.
It's in Atlanta, federal prison. And I like how we will go out of focus from the whole scene is shot. We're going to talk about it. Shot really well.
It's beautiful.
The colors look amazing. Really good color work here. Chuck Zito plays this role. He really surprised
Chuck
me.
kills it.
He really does. He embodies Carmine Rizzo.
Just look at the look,
Look at that.
though.
Look at that.
The disapproving look.
What the fuck, Benny?
Tough Carmine.
What makes you think you go out with my daughter?
I'm sorry, Carmine. I made a mistake.
You're sorry?
Virginia and I are friends for a long time. I know she went through a bad divorce. I felt I could make her happy. I really cared about her.
Well, she cared about you too. And what happened?
She broke up with me. I started a fight with her because I knew it was best for us to end it.
You better believe it was the best to end it.
I understand. It still won't change my love for her. I had nothing but good intentions.
I always liked you. Ever since your cousin brought you around as a kid. Because I knew one day you would become the man you are today. But that's not the man I want my daughter to be with. And I wouldn't want her coming here one day and seeing the both of us behind this fucking glass in this shithole.
Yeah.
Agreed.
You feeling all right now?
Yeah, it took me a while.
I love the audio edits in that scene where whenever Carmine is being real and authentic, you are hearing it through his voice opposed through the telephone.
Yes.
It's really nice when he's being a dad, when he's being a friend to Benny. I really like that.
Thank you for saying that, Lisa, because it's part of what we wanted to talk about in this, and also the camera shots. Right, it's going from behind the wall, and then in front of the visiting wall, and it's two different experiences, and it's two different perspectives and stories,
and it drives two different emotions as you're watching it.
So it's a very powerful scene. It was done extremely well, and of course the acting by William and Chuck is part of that reason.
Unbelievable.
So let's go back to it. I'm sorry, we wanted to stop and just talk about it for a second. Hey, that's a good note. It's our show. We can do that.
So the entire scene is incredibly well done, and I really like the dialogue that Carmine has with Benny at the end, because he tells Benny that, you know, when you're on the streets, you can walk with your head held high because you're from our school,
and that's the best school.
And that's the best school there is. Which is
I liked that
school.
line. Yeah. That was a great line.
Yeah, that's a fabulous line.
And actually, I have the very ending scene here.
And then they put their hands up together.
Yeah, let's look at this.
Good to see you, Benny.
Right here. Fucking love this scene. So I want to talk about that for a second, and we're going to talk about the next scene that's on here too, but it's the camaraderie in this that this scene portrays so well, and the hand against the hand. You know, that's how this guy's getting through these 100 years that he's doing. Yeah. And because men like Benny are on the street representing his life still, and I just found it to be a very moving scene. So in the scene, before we move on, Lisa, something that we didn't mention is that very carefully, Carmine says, "Hey, so you're down in Florida. I hear there's a lot of garbage down in Florida."
Yes. And Benny says, "Yes, there is a lot of garbage, and it's beginning to smell."
And he goes, "That smell should go away." And it was just, you know, they kind of glance over, you know, the phone's being recorded, so they just, you know, real carefully, and we kind of get the picture. Carmine saying, There's
some garbage that needs to go away."
Salvi's gotta
yes,
go. Yeah.
yes. And so from there,
and then he also says one other thing too. I just want to say, he tells Benny to take one day at a time, and he'll feel a whole lot better. And I found that to be an interesting thing to say.
Absolutely.
The next scene is at 7 minutes and 32 seconds. It's Ronaldo and Davey, and they pull up in a Lincoln Continental to visit the senator down in Florida.
Yes, he's playing tennis at the moment. This scene is hilarious.
Everything about this scene is hilarious.
Andrew Dice Clay, you just kill it in this scene, and quite frankly, so does Sid.
He does. Here, let's look at a little bit of it. So there they are in the they just come out of the Continental. Here comes Dice. No, excuse me. Here comes Ronaldo.
This is a lot. It's beautiful.
Davey B.
Yeah. It's Florida. Man.
I love this scene.
So, what brings you to Florida, Ronaldo?
I was just going to ask you the same thing, Senator.
Hey, I got a condo down here.
Condo? Talking about a penthouse.
So I don't.
So we like to call this scene baby boy shorts.
I actually have some of it here.
It's so good.
Here we go.
Short memory, huh? Who got you elected in Brooklyn?
Yeah, I believe I...
You remember that part, right?
I love his glasses.
I remember everything.
Okay.
I didn't forget anything.
That's good. This is really something.
This is really nice.
I never played.
And when you're watching the scene, as they get full shots, you see he's like real tentative.
Once, because I was watching when we pulled up, and you're pretty good. Like the home.
Yeah, you have to watch the senator's legs.
Yeah, look at his legs.
he's like, I'm stepping here, I'm stepping there.
He's like,
You know when they like
sticking him.
You can always tell when where
yeah.
somebody wants to be in a conversation by the direction of their feet.
Yeah.
serve.
Good point.
Serve like this? No.
No, Davey does a great job. Listen, watch his delivery on this.
Show me. I'm going to show you how you do it. It's really very simple.
Stares at him.
Let me see this.
You bounce the ball a couple of times like this. Pop, pop, pop. Lean back on your back leg and come across over the top. See that? That's how you serve.
You know what I loved? You know the part I loved? When you were saying, like, pop, pop, pop.
Like a sound effect.
Like a sound effect. You don't think that's funny?
You don't think that's funny? No. Yes.
Yeah, I like more like a baseball. Like I'm
Watch
a
this.
baseball. Like I could do this.
Give him the line. Give him the line.
Listen good with your little short fucking baby boy shorts. That permit on fucking Carroll Street
love
was
it.
supposed to be signed off
I
on
love
4
it.
fucking
Dice,
months
come on.
ago.
I'm gonna.
I love that. So that obviously that's why we named that the baby boy shorts.
Baby boy with your cute little baby boy shorts. Oh, come on, Andrew. It was hilarious.
Oh my gosh. And
does that really happen with a tennis racket? Could I put someone over the head with it and just gonna split open like that?
I
It's like
don't
It's like a
know.
fucking cartoon. I thought that was hilarious.
You know, and I like the
like
end of that
lying.
scene where, you know, after the senator leaves, is I'll take care of it. I'll take care of it. And Ronaldo looks at Davy B and he's like, but was my swing okay? And the look on Davy, this is where I was like, he's got such a cute smile. He's just got this look where he's like, it was great.
It was a great swing, Ronaldo.
Yeah,
You did a great job.
That scene is really great.
So then we bounce back to Brooklyn. We're at L&B Gardens, which I want to go and eat some of this grandma
Oh
pizza.
my
that I'm
God,
seeing
that
all
pizza,
over.
it's so saucy looking. And when they
scene was
cut
hot.
it and the,
I want that. So there's a meeting happening in the garden. And we have a pizza garden here at Antonio's, by the way, in the South End. But anyway, Tommaso is meeting with Johnny Mad Dog, and they're talking about Benny's assassination. And I thought that Tommaso looked a little puffed up in this episode.
Oh, yeah?
You know, I think with Benny being gone, he's kind of the man now in that crew, at least on the street. So he looks a
He's
little.
got a little bit of a
he has
different
more
stature.
Yeah, he really does. And then they enters Rosemary Telva and her boyfriend, and Mad Dog tells one of his guys to go take care of their pizza.
Yes, Rosemary with her boyfriend. And she looks great in this scene. Her hair is impeccable. And her boyfriend's really cute. You could tell they're young love, and he's quite surprised to
Really
have all these gangsters buying him pizza. So then we're back. It's nighttime in Miami.
It's like, this Madagon's cute. No, he's not. So anyway, so they go back into Miami. So the scene opens at the pool, and Gaetano and Mikey the Hat are sitting down on one of the pool chairs and having a cigar.
Yep, they're talking. They're looking at the girls. And what I found interesting in this particular scene, right off, I was just like, the music. The music's really loud in this
You did mention that.
in this
You did
scene,
mention
and
that.
it just seemed weird to me because I've watched a lot of Gravesend, and I was like, why is the
music-
soundtrack overwhelming? And so Gaetano's talking about his wife leaving him.
Yeah, because Mikey the Hat, we would actually start talking about Mikey the Hat's wife, because Mikey the Hat's wife's obviously passed on, and Gaetano pays him the respect. He goes, your wife was one of a kind because she stood by him during his bids that he had to do, and then he couldn't believe that his wife left him during it, and he says, what a disgrace. And for us it'd be disgraziato, so I was surprised that he didn't use that term, but it was a disgrace for him, and I was interesting. I felt bad, and then all of a sudden,
and then the soundtrack really turns live, and you see two hitmen coming in, and now there's a big gun brawl
and
at the pool.
they shoot Mikey right there.
Yeah, phew, Mikey's
Takes it.
we're like,
Gaetano
no!
gets it.
He gets it.
Benny comes flying out in a black tank, He's got a Uzi with a silencer, a 9 of the silencers. He's lighting the guys
lighting
up.
the place up. Yeah.
Drops him into the pool, and he stands above the pool. And I really got Scarface at that scene. I don't know about you. Did you catch that?
Yes. And
that was it. So then it's a dream.
and then you realize it's a dream.
It's a dream.
So it made sense to me. I was like, okay,
wakes
that's why
up.
the soundtrack was so loud and
Yeah.
off.
So the next scene, Tina Telva, played by Sophia Milos, who we've talked about already, she's laying in bed.
Okay, can we just talk for a second here? All right.
Fucking
As a
uncomfortable.
female, I know when somebody's in her feels, and and she's on the phone, and you could just see her like, and then you see Benny. Benny's on the other line.
She's like, got a payphone, you know what I
And
mean?
then she lays back. You don't go laying back in
She
her
put
bed.
the phone right on her chest.
At the end of the conversation,
Oh,
she had to have
shit.
that deep breath, like, "Ooh, Benny's serving it to her." So we all know that this is no-nos, and Benny is behaving the best way he can be.
He has no idea where she's talking from, right? He's just talking. He's like, you need anything, I'll get it to you. They're giving him the play-by-play. There's nothing strange about that conversation. As the audience, we catch that it's strange.
Oh, for
right?
sure.
But Benny doesn't know that.
Yeah,
there's nothing in
she
there.
is all hot to trot for Benny. So Benny, good luck with that one.
So the next scene I love because they're eating a nice, looks like a nice meatball grinder.
Those grinders look
Those look
so
fucking
good.
right? I want to have one of those. So Gaetano and Benny are sitting there. They're having a grinder and a soft drink.
I was wondering if it was a roast beef special, though.
No, it looked like a meatball.
Okay.
And they're talking about so Gaetano's a Yankees fan.
Yeah, he likes the pinstripes versus the Mets.
And correct, Benny's a Mets fan. They're talking about just sports betting as long as we're making money. And then in comes Santo, played by Bo Dito.
Yes.
We love Bo, as you saw in our previous episode. I mean, this guy from Wolf of Wall Street, plenty of other movies. I mean, he just has a great presence here, and I really like his character as Santo inside of the show. So he brings up his girlfriend. So we walk in. He's got him. He's got his girlfriend Margot, and he's got a guy next to him who I believe is Jimmy V, right, played by Jimmy Valentine, or something like. I think I have that right. Valentino, excuse me, Jimmy
Valentino, yeah.
So, and he's carrying a Brooklyn brand sweatsuit. So
yeah,
we're going to talk about that.
So he's introduced him to Margot. Said, Benny, you know Margot. Margot, you can go wait for me in the car. And then they have a little sit down. He hands Benny a big fat envelope, as most sit downs like to start.
Yeah, and then he even says, "What happened to her face?"
Yeah, he wants to know, and he's like, "Well, that's one of the reasons why I'm here to talk to you."
Makeup did a hell of a job on Margot.
Oh my God, she looked like she got
her ass whooped, and it was almost uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I was like, "Holy shit!"
Yeah, she really did endure a beating.
And that's what they said. Santa goes, "That's one of the reasons I came down here. Besides seeing you, is I want to talk about what happened to Margot, and it was her scumbag ex-husband who did that to her." And he says he's got to go.
He's got to go. And Benny said, "Yeah, he's got to go."
He's like, "You better believe he's got to go." And I really like that delivery of the line.
Yeah, there was no hesitation. And then he presents the sweatsuit, the Brooklyn brand sweatsuit.
Listen, we love these Brooklyn brand sweatsuits. I'm upset I'm not wearing a Brooklyn brand sweatsuit right now.
I know.
We're gonna see what we can do. I mean, the black and the gold, the light blue. I even like it's the fleece one with the gray and the black. I think
that one looks really nice.
I saw Vincent Pastore wearing it. Maybe that was what it was. I was like, well, I want to wear that one.
I may have mentioned I'm about 5'10".
So anyway, he shows them. He said, "Look, our friends in the garment district," and that's another great piece of writing because, of course, the unions in the garment district. There's a lot of organized crime involved back in those days. Because they designed us these sweatsuits, Brooklyn brand, and they're really nice. If we invest a little money, we could get it going. And Benny, because you know what? Because he trusts Santo. Santo does well.
He's like, if you want to do that, go ahead. I go for it. I support it.
So the next scene starts off with some great music. I absolutely love this song, but I can't find the name of it.
Yeah, we really struggled to find the name of the song.
The one with the saxophone.
Yeah.
And then
good sax
come on. The girls are doing cocaine, and they're on the back of this boat. And then they move to the front, and it's Salvi is there. He's entertaining the owner, I guess, of a restaurant he's trying to buy. His name is Arthur, and the character is played by Alan Sipos, and he was from Scream and that cold, dead look in your eyes.
Okay. Yeah, he's got a great French accent, and he's also, blowing some lines there. They're tubing it up, and he's just talking to.
I never see anybody do coke like that. They do it right out of the bottle.
Yeah, well, they just have the $100. Yeah, I don't know how they do it, but I guess that's how you do it.
Just pour it all down there, I guess. I don't know. I don't do that shit. So anyway,
throw it. I don't know. But so he's talking to him, and he wants him to lower the price. And Arthur says, we gave you the price that we gave was a special price just for you. And he's like, it's a good buy, so think about it. And he's like, but for now, can you give me some more blow? And then Salvi motions to the guys, gives them the old, hey, down. And the next thing you know, his two bodyguards throw the poor guy off the boat.
He's like, you can have the whole bottle of Coke. And then
you can have it. And he threw him off the boat. He's like, what are you doing? And off he goes.
Funny little note, Lisa. I believe the boat was a Choi Lee cruiser, probably a Choi Lee 76, somewhere in that range.
It was a beautiful boat.
It was a beautiful boat. So
I know we originally thought it was maybe a Hatteras.
I thought it was a Hatteras at first, but I sent the picture to my dad. Oh. And Pop was down there in Boca Raton. He goes, no, son. He actually calls me Pinaco. He goes, Pinaco, that's a Choi Lee. So Guineas love boats. What am I going to tell you? Anyway, move on.
So then the next scene, we go to a beautiful pool where Ronaldo and Santini Trufato is
the boss
there.
Of Florida.
Yep, the boss of Florida.
He's played by
there.
William Forsythe.
He does such a great job. You may recognize William from Dick Tracy,
Boardwalk Empire.
Tons
of movies.
Yeah. He really kills it.
I think he played Al Capone in something too at one point.
Could be.
Yeah. So it's interesting because this is the very first meeting that Barry has, the flip-flop guy, with Benny. Benny's got Ronaldo. And the very first thing that happens is Benny kind of gets up and apologizes for
which was the right thing to do.
Walking out on Barry. And he reaches his hand out in friendship. And Barry stands up and he says, the only reason I'm thinking of shaking your fucking hand is because of that man right there. And it was such a faux pas. It was such a shitty fucking move by Barry. And, of course, Santini has to kind of give him a, just sit down and shake his hand and sit the fuck down.
Yeah.
And then he says, with all due respect or no disrespect to Barry, and he moves on saying, you've got the floor, Mr. Cosello. And it talks a little bit of, Benny goes into it, hey, we're going to bring down machines. We want to bring in roulette. We want to bring in,
he pulls
that
out diamonds. He's got
everything. We got some
everything.
Jews down here. We want to do sports bets. We want to take bets, make book, as we say. So everything starts coming together. And then he basically kind of pushes back. He's like, he's not so sure he wants to deal with them. And then he brings up the history that they have. And they say that we have a strong history, and it's with his cousin, pointing over at Benny. Correct. And I think I do have some of that scene here, Lisa.
And I know that, Santini. But the thing is, we have history.
You're right. We have a strong history.
That's right.
With his cousin Charlie. You got anything you want to chime in, Benny? Anything you want to say?
First off,
Yeah, here he goes.
I want to apologize to Barry for the other day. I'm sorry for walking out like that.
The only reason why I'm thinking of shaking your hand is because of him.
Shut the fuck up. Shake his hand and sit down.
Shake his hand and sit down.
You got the floor, Mr. Colosso. No offense, Barry.
So let's get down to business.
So that's when he goes in. He starts telling him about all the different
So you did
places
that.
they're going to open up.
And as far as being paranoid, whoever came for me, they're the ones that should be paranoid. And our family is very capable of handling the situation on our own. But with that being said, it's much appreciated, Santini.
So before this, I love because
hold on.
in this scene, right before that, and the dialogue that they have right before that scene, Santini tells Benny and Ronaldo that they're already indebted to him, and the look on Benny's face and the camera cut, it's like car and headlights. You're like, ugh. It's a real quick close up.
It goes extreme. It goes extreme.
He did not realize that he was indebted,
And that he's been being protected.
and that he has been being protected the entire time. So that was just interesting. So that's why he says, with that being said, we're grateful for you looking out for me.
And then Santini looks at him and he says, braccio di ferro, which is a great Italian saying that really translates of arm of iron. So basically just saying, I see your strength. This guy is just filled. He's a bull. So I really like that.
Absolutely.
So then Benny brings up Salve. He was like, how is this guy, this fucking rat?
Yeah, how is this guy
you know,
going to your clubs, hanging out in your strip club?
Because he tells the story of Charlie bringing Frank Sinatra to his dying cancerous wife at the hospital, and he sang to his wife. So I mean, he was like, "That's your cousin Charlie, and I'm here for you," pretty much inside of that story.
Absolutely.
Frank Sinatra.
So next scene, so basically at the end of that scene, Santini says, all right, go ahead and do whatever you want. And he gives him the, let's make some fucking fazools, run everything through Barry. You got a green light in Florida. So that's how we know things are going. The next scene, we open up to a night scene at a backyard pool. And it's Harold, Margot's ex-husband, the one who gave her the beating.
Right.
Is sitting inside of the water of the pool. He's played by Martin Chaddock. And one of the movies he was in is The Name of Providence. He actually, pardon me, darling, he actually starts touching himself in the pool, and Santo walks in. He goes, I can't believe I found you beaten off in the pool or something like that.
Gross.
So
this scene is actually really rough. Not only because of the opening, but no, it's really rough because they beat the piss out of this guy.
This is the first.
It's brutal.
We've seen some killings. We've seen some beatings in episode series 1, or excuse me, the first season. This is the first brutal fucking beating in this series. And so first of all, when the guy hit him with the hammer, I think it was Vinny. I said that wrong. It was Jimmy. Jimmy comes up and he just fucking nails Santo with a hammer right in the forehead. And dude, that, like, my adrenaline went right up, and I got excited. I was like, holy cow. And then they just go and they pummel this guy.
Yeah, he's got the brass knuckles, and he tells him, you'll never beat another woman again.
Did you hit her like this?
Yeah, it's brutal. They beat him and beat him and beat him.
It's a brutal beating.
Right before they shoot him.
Well, and that's how you know what I mean? They're really sending a message, you know what I mean? Because I'm going to tell you something right now. You don't want to hit somebody with brass knuckles unless you end up, you're going to wreck his face for life, just so you know. Next scene, we're outside of a Miami nightclub, and then Silent Morning by Noel is playing. Great clubhouse freestyle song, and I can't help to think that Harold's going to have a very silent morning.
Yes, it's a silent night already.
So as a girl, actually that Benny knows from Brooklyn, she set him up from a table up in the VIP.
She's all excited to see him, brings him upstairs. They're sitting around the table. He orders 3 bottles of Dom Perignon.
Yeah, Dom Perignon. Hey, remember you could get Dom Perignon at Miami Subs?
No.
Okay. Anyway, it was the times. So they're all sitting around. They're talking about how Miami's like Versace's down here, Madonna. It's, it's kind of the in crowd.
It's like the happening place.
And this is great writing again because it really was, right? 1987, Miami was hot. And how it became hot was because of all of the models were going down to shoot at South Beach. There were a lot of photographers. A lot of the photographers were German, actually, and a lot of agencies sent a lot of German folks because of the architecture of South Beach. And it was before they all started getting fixed up, right? And it was all still kind of like during, right mid Miami Vice time. The hot club on South Beach was the News Cafe back then. I remember going into it myself. I know about this because my mom was in the modeling industry back then, and
sure.
So I thought it was really fun because I remember being down there at this time and just being kind of intoxicated by Miami's vibration. It really was something different, and I was so used to New York and Boston that being in New York with this Latin flair, and it had like
in Miami,
the buildings literally had like neon pink and blue and in like 80s. It was really a cool city. Coconut Grove was the place to be back then.
Okay.
Anyway, that's where I went.
Yeah. Well, inside the club, as you mentioned, that this was the place for all the stars. Mario is all excited because he looks over. He's like, "Hey, that's LL Cool J," and he's all starstruck. And Benny's like, "Come on, Mario." He's like, "I want to go meet him." And Mikey the Hat makes some, comments about how they should go go roll him for his money or something like that.
They said she's a star. Let's shake him down.
Let's shake him down, right?
So it's funny. They bring over the champagne, and Gaetano makes the statement, "Now I'm home," because he's back living the life he wants to live. He's in the surroundings in which he'd like to receive. And then all of a sudden enters a brand new character, Steve Messe, aka Baldy.
What's up, cuz?
What's up? Yo, cuz. So
cuz.
He's played by Steve Martino. I mean, this guy is a fucking powerhouse in the food world. The Yo Cuz Italian-American cookbook. He's opening up restaurants all over the country, from Vegas to Miami. I mean, I like his back alley chat. I was just watching one of his back alley chats last night, as a matter of fact. This guy's a real looking fella. I mean, Jesus Christ. Intimidating looking,
Yes.
I would like to say.
So he comes over to Benny, and he says, Benny's like, "Do I know you?" And he
That's
says,
right.
"Yeah, I'm a friend of yours from
a friend of ours.
a friend of ours from Philly."
Because
And,
you know little Nicky.
Yeah,
And he goes,
little
of course.
Nicky. He wants to see you and Mikey outside only.
So little Nicky's played by Armand Asante, and
Armand Asante kills it. He is so good in this role.
I was so happy to see him cast in season 2. I can't not watch every line he delivers in anything, because you guys know, Armand delivers lines like nobody else.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
And he really tells it, the way he gets them to go or to do the thing. So I love everything about this scene, not just because of Baldy, not just because of Armand Asante, because of how the next few moments proceed. And what it does to the story is it really shifts the story. Because what happens is, he says, little Nicky wants to see you and Mikey the Hat only. So they come out, and as they come out, Lisa, there's a big
opening the gates. Yes.
A big gate.
Yes.
And the gate's got like a jail feel to it. And you can't help to feel that this meeting is about to let Benny out of the jail that he's been in, right? With Caesar and the hierarchy that he faces in the Colezel family. Okay, so Baldy brings them outside, and I have the scene here. Here's
Thank you, Dana. Salute, guys. Salute.
There he is. So this is Baldy. There we go.
There's Armand Asante.
What the fuck's he doing?
Little Nicky.
Yeah, that's some of his pal Mikey, right? Come meet me outside. Hey, them on it, huh?
Here's where he goes.
What's up?
You know, little Mickey.
Yeah, of course.
He wants to see you and Mickey outside.
So they're wondering, what's this about? So here we go into the next scene that I really like. We'll have to edit this out. So here we go. Mario's like, I'm not going. Here's the scene what I was talking about. They open the gates. This is the transitional moment in this story. Hey.
Hey, is that Tony Luke Jr.?
It is Tony Luke Jr.
You're Charlie's cousin? It's hard to believe 13 years go by. Look at you, all the way from Brooklyn. So tell me, Bunny, how are things, huh? How's your skipper doing? What's his name, Chris? You know, I told him, I said, Chris, you want to negotiate, become a diplomat, you know? And whatever you do, don't piece of fucking jelly bean count with the boss he was. Ronaldo. That's no boss.
He's talking about Caesar.
Got the brains of a gummy bear. You couldn't run that Kennedy store.
All due respect, Nicky, I appreciate if you wouldn't speak this way about my friends. And I guess the powers that be got the reasons of why things are the way they are.
Reasons? I got my reasons. They got ideas? Hey, I got mine. Benny, you have never once in your life been officially bumped up into being a skipper. And that's where you belong. And he never got straightened out.
It goes back to the first episode.
Are you seeing what I'm saying? You don't want to watch. I watch.
I watch.
Put you down here?
Fucking love it.
That's a fucking shelf move. Let me give you a little geographical insight as to where they put you and why.
So that's a shelf move, and
That's a shelf
and
move.
that gets to Betty. You saw it right there, and Betty's been wondering anyway. And then when a boss says that to him, it got under his skin, and clearly it's got him thinking. The next scene, they're at a private beach, and it's Benny and Maureen, and Maureen's talking to him about going to a nude beach, and
He's like, no way. And
yeah, the song actually that's playing is by Madison Anderson. It's called "Broken," and it's a nice little scene. And actually, I kind of felt like this might have been shot up north and not in Miami. I wonder if this was shot up north.
that sand reminded me of like New Jersey
A little bit, yeah,
sand.
we'll see. So the next scene, Nicky, Siesta, and Santini are sitting in a steam bath, and they talk about Charlie and how he comes from good blood, and that and that Nicky says that he should be a boss now. And people really are starting to question. He's like, what are the old man decisions on not putting putting Caesar in and not Charlie? And that's what they're saying. They're saying that Charlie should be a boss. And then Nicky says, hey, they shoot horses. They put them down the same for men. If I go to that place, boom. So in other words, like, it's time to go for this guy.
Sure. Nobody wants to have a reputation of losing their mind and being in charge. So
Right. The next scene is in a Boca Raton boatyard.
Yes.
And Benny and Gaetano pop in for a meeting with Abe's cousins. And Benny is wearing an all brown Brooklyn Brands tracksuit.
It's quite a lovely looking tracksuit.
So this is a fun scene because it's got Maury, and he was played by Martin Cove.
And then his nephew sitting next to him, Eli, is played by his son.
Yeah, Jesse
Cove.
Yeah. So you guys know Martin Cove. I mean, from Cobra Kai, Karate Kid, Rambo. I mean, this guy is a fucking great actor, and having his son next to him as his son, I think is really fun. Again, it's a family affair here on the Gravesend, and I've kind of got some really fun. I don't want to spend too much time on it, but I got some fun backstory about Martin Cove.
All right, let's hear it.
So, Lisa, one of the fun things that I just did not expect in diving into creating the Talking Gravesend podcast is how many freaking connections I have with this cast. So Marty Cove is actually a dear friend of my mother's, Valerie. Okay. She met Marty Cove years ago out in California working with Nicky Sinardi, and they made great friends. And actually, they made friends with another one of my friends, David Casali's niece, who actually, that goes back. I mean, his grandparents invented the frozen tortellini, Tinties. Yeah. So anyway,
Tinties.
They made friends, and then actually, Martin Cove came and hung out with my mom here in Springfield. They went up to
Springfield is a happening
it's
place
a happening
to be.
place. They went up to Donovan's Pub on my Irish side. I have a quarter Irish. My cousin owns Donovan's Pub, and I guess Marty Cove came up, and they had a lot of fun.
Well, there you go.
You know what my mom said about Marty is that he's such a genuine and honest person, and she really likes spending time with him.
Well, that's a really nice.
Marty, come on back. Well, I'll take it. There's a new
down.
Donovan's. I'll bring it to you. So he's joined. Let's see what's going.
So it's as we mentioned, he is joined by his nephew, is played by his son Eli, and they're talking about taking action.
Yeah, they own all the boatyards,
Yeah.
and these are the guys that
Several marinas.
Yeah, these are the guys that do the heavy sports betting.
Yes.
So they're like
$100,000 bets at a time.
And he says, yeah, but we'll take your action, and I'd like to put in Joker poker machines and all kinds of stuff for you guys, and pay phones and all that stuff, vending machines. If you let me do it, we'll give you a 50-50 split, which is the norm. So Eli was kind of boastful. Was like, you're asking a lot off the rip, and he's kind of flexing a little bit, and Gaetano has a little flex on him.
Yeah, Gaetano says something to him to the fact that at least we're not here with a wise guy, with a wise guy attitude or a wise ass attitude and stuff.
I love it.
So it kind of puts him back in his place a bit.
Is that when Marty looks at him and says, "Do you think these people?" Because he goes, "I know fucking judo."
No, I don't. That wasn't.
That isn't it. Okay,
no, that
right.
comes later.
Okay.
That comes later.
So the next scene is nighttime. It's back in the International Hotel, and Benny and Mikey the Hat are talking over a game of pool. They're talking about the Giuliani arrests, and Benny tells Mikey the Hat that the club that they were at was Nicky's club, and that he's planted a flag down there.
Yeah. And Benny says that he and his cousin Charlie were always close. And Benny and Mikey contemplate if,
Yeah, he even says it. He goes,
he's like, do you think it was a shelf move? So you could tell that little Nicky really got into his head.
Mikey's kind of the rabbi of the crew, isn't he? Right? He tries to calm him down. He goes, put it out of your head. And there's a few different scenes where he's the voice of reason inside of this crew.
Well, he's a bit older than everybody, so with some of that age does come wisdom and the respect of listening to your elder. And Mikey, he runs a crew for a reason. He must give good advice. So.
Yeah, no. So the next scene is outside of a home. It's in the rain as a French-speaking people in a little two-door BMW.
Yes. You hear a woman screaming, saying, "What are we doing? This is obscene. It's the middle of the night." And then cut to, it's our friend Arthur.
Yes.
Who would have guessed? Arthur, fresh out of the ocean.
He's banging on the door.
And he's banging on the door. And I think we actually have this scene.
We do.
He's banging on the door at his partner's, his business partner's house, and he's basically like, "Hey, Salvi just threw me off the freaking boat."
He's like, "What do you mean, in the ocean?"
Yeah, he's like, he didn't know I'm a good swimmer, so I guess the guy had to swim for like 3 hours before another boat picked him up. So let's look at this scene.
So his partner is played by Renee, and it's Kobotri. I'm probably saying that wrong. Renee Kobotri, and he is from the Rim Cafe. He's the cannoli king of Philadelphia.
The cannoli king.
I mean, actually, on May 9th, he's going to break a Guinness Book of World Records, and I think it's going to be either cannoli or a cheesecake. I want to go down and check it out. So he really plays a great scene. I mean, really authentic. I love his voice in it. He's also wearing a big, looks like a Gucci nautical necklace in that scene. So yeah, let's go ahead and play it. Sorry, we're so excited to talk about Gravesend. We got to watch some Gravesend.
Shut the fuck up!
It's the middle of the night. It is sleeping.
It is just going to have to wake up.
You are acting crazy.
You stay in the damn car!
Here comes Renee.
What are you doing at this time of the night, man?
That bastard Salvi! He threw me off his boat!
What? What are you saying?
Tried to kill me. Thank God I swim good. A boat came by and picked me up.
Boat pick you up?
Yes.
This guy just woke up.
Right.
I swam in the ocean for 3 fucking hours.
3 fucking hours in the ocean?
He's just repeating everything. He threw you in the water for 3 fucking hours in the ocean. It's great.
He was a good swimmer.
Yes, lucky he was a good swimmer. My goodness.
So yeah, it's a fun scene, and it's
and
all.
And you just learn even further what an asshole Salvi is. My God, he's ruthless.
So the next scene is at 44 minutes on the timeline. We're wrapping. The episode's kind of coming to a close here, and it's Sammy and Mikey the Hat sitting out on a beautiful day doing some fishing on the dock there at the hotel. And Sammy it's actually a really nice scene. We're going to play some of it, but Sammy talks to Mikey about how he remembers going fishing with him in Sheepshead Bay, and really one of the most important parts of the episode or this scene is they talk about Sammy's mom and Mikey the Hat's sister being murdered by the son of Sam.
Correct.
And that Sammy hates his name as a result of that. And Mikey the Hat says, "You be proud of your name." And I really like the scene. So let's go ahead and watch it.
Yeah.
So beautiful. One thing. This is so beautiful. One thing I love about Florida is the view. Yeah, I just realized something. It's the third time we've hung out since you've been down here, and you haven't worn your hat. So don't they call you Mikey the Hat?
No, Mikey the Hat ain't here. He don't exist here. Here, I'm Uncle Mikey. Got it?
You say so.
I say so. Change the subject.
You know, I remember you taking me fishing to Sheepshead Bay as a kid.
Yeah, you're 8 years old. You remember that?
Absolutely.
I think Leo Rossi does a good job in
I
the scene
even
as well.
remember the block
does.
party
Yeah.
we had on
They've got good chemistry,
West
these
Fifth
two.
Street, right?
Maybe it's because he's older and Christian has some good respect, and they work well together as nephew and uncle. But I really like this exchange that they have.
Absolutely.
And we didn't capture the end of it where he really talks about being upset about, because they talk about the block party and that his mom got Mikey to dance, and he goes,
Yes.
"Good memories except for the dancing part."
Yes, yes.
So I think that was interesting. He misses home.
Yeah, and again, so he said that he doesn't like his name anymore after his mother was killed by the son of Sam, and Mikey assures him that to be proud of that because that was
His
your
grandfather.
grandfather's name, and he was a real man, a real provider, and that's a name you can be proud of. So,
Great legacy.
yeah, he's happy to have the connection with his uncle.
And a great way to end episode 2 of season 2 as we fade to black and we hear Tony Luke Jr.'s One More Night.
Yes, yes. But I wanted to say something before that.
Yeah, please.
And one other thing that's really important about that scene is the fact that Mike is not wearing his hat, and that is important to him because he's doing his best to lead his nephew away from that life.
Right.
And that's a real key thing. That's why he's like, "No, I left that in Brooklyn. That's not here."
Mikey the Hat's not here.
Yeah,
you're right.
It's only.
Wow,
it's
I didn't
only,
think of it like
yeah,
that.
it's only me, and so that you can just tell that he's really trying to. He doesn't want his nephew to go down the same path. He's already lost his sister. Now he doesn't want his nephew to be lost to the life.
Yeah.
So.
That's a really good pickup, Lisa. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
And it's a very tender moment. Like I said, he plays a great job being his uncle, and you really feel that love inside of this scene, reminiscing about when the sister and mother were alive and how they missed that connection in the home. But yeah, really, really good pickup, Lisa. I'm impressed with that. And then as we fade into black, we can have Can I Have Just One More Night played by Tony Luke Jr.
Right.
Just
Which everybody, everyone's wishing they had just one more night.
Yeah.
Just one more night. So great episode. Gosh, I can't wait to see what happens in episode 3. So exciting.
I just wanted to mention, Lisa, that this episode was dedicated to Anthony Licindino III, and I just wanted to make sure that he got his mention because it's very important. If the creators put that in, we want to make sure that we honor
And acknowledge
that as well. So, Lisa, awesome episode.
Great episode. Thanks for being with us here at the Talking Gravesend podcast. Be sure to like and subscribe. Follow us everywhere. We're now available on all audio platforms as well.
Yeah, it's great to listen to the show. I listened to it the other day on the way to the gym. Totally different experience. Check us out on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you listen to iHeart, all the platforms.
All the platforms.
Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on Instagram. Like the Facebook page, Talking Gravesend Podcast. And while you're liking all of these folks, go ahead and make sure you like Gravesend series on Instagram, Facebook, and
Follow the cast
Follow the
members.
cast. I mean, there's some really good content out there. We're having a lot of fun covering Gravesend. We love this show. We love the characters of this show. We love the locations of this show. There's everything about Gravesend. Could you tell? We're pretty excited about it.
We are.
All right. So everybody will let you go. We're going to get ready for episode 3. Make sure you go ahead and watch Gravesend on Tubi and or Amazon Prime. And until then, do you have any further parting?
I'll see you on the streets.
Yeah, we'll see you on the streets.
Thanks for watching.
Ciao.
Ciao.